Hi, welcome to the second part of my run through of my comics, my non sort of Marvel / DC sort of standard size comics. So it's all these sort of magazine size, like also UK comics and much more. In this one, I'm going through these ones: Savage Tales, Unknown World Science Fiction, Dracula ones, and so on. So first, I'm going to go through the horror ones and then down to the Savage Tales, as well as Savage Sword of Conan, etc. Now, I've got some epics here. I've got 6 and 7. That's it. I used to buy them quite regularly, but over the years, just got rid of them all. In fact, I got rid of them all. These ones I picked up at a Comic Mart, and, well, they're excellent. I love this one, Epic number 6. Now, they never actually put, and I was looking for no information about the number, but still, it is issued. And it's 1981, 75 pence they cost as well. They're quite expensive, actually, compared with the normal comics as well. But I still loved getting these ones. They're just great. Like Heavy Metal, all those sort of ones. And of course, any story with Hull Nelson there, certainly worth getting. And also, I love the Hull Nelson's Dream Corridor one. That was another magazine that I really, really enjoyed. Didn't last a vast amount of time, but still a great issue. And you've got some great artwork all the way through this. So that's this one. But the next issue probably is my favourite one of all. Though I think the first issue was pretty good as well. Unfortunately, I haven't got that. But this one, Epic. And the reason, Barry Windsor Smith. Also, you've got a great Neil Adams story as well. Brilliant. There, Neil Adams and Barry Windsor Smith. And that was the reason I got it, Barry Windsor Smith. Some very unusual artwork. I don't even know who that is. Tim Cook. Oh, J.K. Potter. No relation to us. But anyway, Tim Caldwell. And also Stalin's in here as well, which is pretty good as well. Great bit of Stalin there. But the reason I bought it was for the Barry Windsor Smith. So Barry Windsor Smith, great artwork. I loved his artwork, always did. So you got that, Barry Windsor Smith. So that's in issue 7. I don't know why they never included the number. I just can't see the number unless it's hidden somewhere there. And just can't see it. Always, of course, adverts on the back as well. Kull. Now this is black and white. All the rest, I think, are black and white ones. So these ones, Kull Barbarian. There was only 3 issues of this, unfortunately, and I love this one. We had Red Sonja, Son Kane, and of course King Kull. Now recently they've of course been doing some reprints. They did a reprint obviously of these ones, that one, Son and Kane, but the Red Sonja, I would love to see an omnibus edition of all those. But still, at this point, nothing. I mean, you've got some really, I think honestly, terrible ones they brought out that were recoloured and messed around with. They were awful. The Marvel feature ones and other ones. I think there's also a Further Adventures book that came out, which included some other stories, but it just really, I think Marvel or someone should bring out a collection of all those brilliant Red Sonja ones. It would be great. But here's, of course, there you've got the King Kull story here. Actually got 2 King Kull stories here. That's different artwork there. And, of course, you've got the Red Sonja. The Red Sonja one was very unusual. Very strange stories there. Now, I'd love to have seen all the old Red Sonja ones, the ones that were in the Colour magazine. I would love to have seen them in black and white in this sort of format as well. Would have been brilliant. You can see all the different issues. Missed any of these Marvel masterpieces? Yes, I did, actually. Missed quite a lot of them. Now, this one, Planet of the Apes, issue 1. Send it to me, $3. Now, I definitely rushed ahead and sent my $3 there. I even got the Marvel Treasure editions. Weird they included those as well as part of that sort of set of magazines. But you got the Hordes of Horror, Monsters of the Movies. Never got any issues of that. And Vampire Tales, Zombie, of course. Oh, that was a great one. Conan, of course. Dracula Lives. I didn't pick up many. I bought the UK Dracula Lives magazine one, or Dracula, whatever it was called. I think it was Dracula Lives. And this one, Dracula Lives again. So you can see all those. But you've got Red Sonja, and you've also, of course, got Solomon Kane at the back as well. Very dramatic stuff there, Solomon Kane. There's 3 issues. That was it. Vampire Tales. This is a lovely one as well. Blade, the Vampire Slayer, battles the endless legions of the unliving dead. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Unliving dead. Not the Walking Dead they could have got with that one. 5 fear features and fantasies in the macabre manner. A vampire berserk. So you've got those. Right, again, lots of great stories. Actually got a really nice, weird science fiction one, which sort of obviously is still a vampire story, but it's just odd that it's included a sort of story there. Very unusual, futuristic science fiction story. And another Blade. There's the Blade story there. And you've got another story at the back. I don't know who that one is. Obviously, it's just a generic. Now, the artwork, sometimes they have some really great artists in here. I always loved some of the work. Let's have a look at this one. I'm just always can never turn the page. That's always the thing. Oh, Tony Zindiger. You can see that one there. And, well, they were always filled with some great stories that I loved. And I always loved all the adverts at the back as well. Sometimes they were the best bits. No, the actual comic was pretty good as well. But I love looking at these ones. Three-dimensional Marvel superhero action scenes. Spider-Man toys. I wonder what that's. Spidey squirt gun. Kung Fu fighter. Not certain why that was included in the Spider-Man toys, but still. Oh, Spider-Man stunt cycle. You also have Spider-Man Spidey foam. World famous crazy foam in wildest container ever. Spider-Mobile. Of course, that was a famous one. Spider-Mobile. We had a little controller for it. Also, your Captain America there. $2.99. I'm certain they're very collectible now. Also, you've got Planet of the Apes, of course. Planet of the Apes Lives. The classic monsters. And Kung Fu. Lovely, great Kung Fu adverts there. Now, Doc Savage. I'm a mega Doc Savage fan. I've got these in an omnibus edition, which I love. If only they, let's say, bring out the Red Sonja in that sort of format as well, I would be happy. But this one, Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze, the Hell Reapers, no less. But it was just great. Lasted 8 issues. Now, there were colour ones as well. I never got any of those colour ones. I should have done. And also, there was apparently a Spidey and Doc Savage one as well. Again, never seen. I don't know if there's been a collection of those Spider-Man colour ones. Oh, sorry, Doc Savage colour ones. Maybe there has, maybe there hasn't. That's very odd stories, actually. But it was good. They were good. And also, I love the fact they always included these as well. They're always great. These interviews and articles, lots of photos, etc. Still, Doc Savage, great little magazine, that one. Recently, I've been getting into Planet of the Apes again. So Planet of the Apes, I thought, oh, I must pick up. And I saw this at my Comic Mart recently. And I thought, well, I think it was about £2, £3, something like that. And I thought, yes, I'll get that one. They had a couple other issues and they were slightly more expensive. I thought, oh, well, I'll just go for one. I should have gone for all of them, but still. These are really good stories. And I've been reading the archives as well, because I've got the Kindle Unlimited. I went through, I think it was book 2. For some weird reason, book 1's not in the Kindle Unlimited, but book 2 is. Book 3 and book 4, I think, are also available, but not Kindle Unlimited. Of course, they're very hard to get now, unfortunately, those books. But Battle for the Planet of the Apes. I don't know if that's the battle, the film, I guess, the quest. They always had great titles. Death for the Planet of the Apes. What's his name for the Planet of the Apes? Bargain Bin for the Planet of the Apes. Whatever. We heard it through the Ape Vine. They really must have struggled with that one. 13 Decades of the Apes. Ape, I should say. And of course, you've got a bit more of the story here. Now, I think the reason I bought it was mainly, especially amid ruins left by man. I always love those sort of storylines. I don't know why, but still, it's always good. Now, of course, on TV, everything, like The Last of Us, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant story. The Haunt of Horror. However, that's slightly confusing because it's actually Marvel Preview number 12. And it's slightly confusing some of the letters pages. The letters pages are all talking about Thor the Mighty, which, of course, was a few issues before. So they obviously went into horror. Then the next issue, they probably did something else. So this was slightly confusing title. You never knew what you were going to get with this title. But you got there, again, so much so that I have no idea what even this story is. So let's just go right back to the start. Oh, it's the Lilith story. So you've got the Lilith story. Also got another great bit of artwork there. And another story. I assume this is the Dracula story. Lord of Vampires. So there's Dracula, Lord of Vampires. And there. Now, I don't know if the actual Tomb of Dracula and all those sort of magazines were still going at this time, but that was obviously the Dracula story there. Marvel Preview, issue 13, The UFO Connection. That was the one there with pyramids, power and aliens. And John Lennon. For some weird reason, John Lennon's in there. President Carter as well. Everyone's in that one. And I don't know, it's obviously Thor the Mighty was in there. That was the letters page. Now, another magazine I really love getting, but I didn't get all of them. Now, I read them all back in the day, but this one, I think I've got issue 3, I've got issue 2, and I've got issue 6 now. They're reasonably priced, you can still pick them up reasonably easily. And they always started with the Slow Glass story. I think they were in all the stories, but you got here, but Night of the... So the contents quite often didn't include that. You got Reprint, the Harlequinicals, Hull Ellison. That's probably the reason why I bought it. But you got here Star Magi, and of course the Slow Glass story. Always had articles as well. Also, you've got a lovely little, obviously, Conan story in here as well. It's not Conan, it doesn't say Conan, but it looks very much like Conan. You've also got Dune there. You can see Dune. And let's go on to the next page. Gestation, Man Gods, obviously advertising issue 13 there. And Kull the Barbarians. Kull and the Barbarians, I should say. Oh, that one had Red Sonja, Solomon Kane, and Bran McMorn, apparently. Didn't get that one. Never bought that one. Some great artwork, but sometimes, unfortunately, you can never work out actually what the story is at this point. Just looking at it, I can't even tell. But it's Alex Nino, the artist there. This is a good little magazine, and you've got, oh, they're advertising the Savage Sword of Conan, Tree of Death. I think they showed that image quite a few times with Conan on that. Sandworms and Saviours, obviously got a great article with Herbert there. Here's the next one, Behold the Man, Michael Moorcock. I love that story. Remember, I've got the issue of New Worlds that's got that in. Again, another slow glass story at the start. And then we've got another story there. Obviously, that's the Behold the Man story. Now, the artwork, that's a bit unusual, that one. The art, I assume it's Alex Nino. It looks like Alex Nino. And it is Alex Nino. Would be very weird if it wasn't. It's slightly odd, that one. But still, great little story. And also, of course, got some other ones here. Another article, Old Soldier. This one's Bruce Jones. And let's just go. And, oh, very unusual bit of artwork there. It's always good. Very much that style at the time. And this one, let's get to this page. They're always a mix of stories. This one's Visitation. Ruben Yandok. Don't remember him. Anyway, so you've got there Ruben Yandok. And, of course, the letters pages are, oh, and Tommy. After, oh, never seen that one. Fantastic film book, The Rock Opera Smash. Huh. Wow. I have never seen that anywhere. I would love to buy that one. I suspect it goes for quite a bit. Now, this says here, talking about this is the least even chance that this will be the final issue. They obviously didn't know at this point. But it was quite sad because I really loved the science fiction ones. And so they had the colour one as well. That's gone. This one as well. Science fiction seems to unfortunately have a very, very... Now, DC had lots of science fiction ones back in the 50s anyway. Of course, EC Comics. Now, science fiction just never seems to, for some weird reason, hold its ground when it comes to comics. I don't know why. I suppose because all the superheroes ones are basic science fiction. But still, actual science fiction stories like Harlan Ellison, those sort of ones, Isaac Asimov, Alfred Bester, etc., they just don't seem to survive, which is a pity. Always a pity, but I always liked them. Great little stories and also some fascinating artwork. And it was always an opportunity for some very unusual artwork as well. It wasn't just your standard artwork. And now this one, of course, a brilliant Bruce Jones again. Got lovely artwork there. Looking very much like a Wally Wood story. That one, actually, to be honest, / Al Williamson. Oh, David Triffids. That one. Rico Rival. I have never heard Rico Rival. As an artist, but I did enjoy that one, and I enjoyed the film as well, and the book. What's the John Wyndham book? And you got here Unknown World Science Fiction, Frank Herbert there, Not Long Before the End, Larry Niven, etc. And you also got there someone looking like, let's say, Conan one. Looks very Conan-like anyway. And you've got Plans of the Apes, and also Arnie Schwarzenegger. Well, no, it isn't. It's Brian Eastman. For a second, it was quite often you had the advert, it would always show Arnie Schwarzenegger, but that wasn't this time. Monsters of the Movies, Savage Sword, Iron Shadows in the Moon. That was a classic one, of course. Alfred Bester, and that's that issue. Ah, right, that's all run through all those. And now you've got here Kazar. Now, I've got a mix of ones here, so I'm not going to show every single bit of them because I've got quite a few Savage Tales. Otherwise, it's going to be Savage Tales, Savage Tales, Savage Tales. This is Kazar. Lord of the Hidden Jungle. They started out, it wasn't particularly the magazine when it first, of course, it was Conan, and then it became Kazar. But I always enjoyed them. I did enjoy those stories. Again, I don't know if these have been reprinted. It'd be nice if they have been reprinted. I don't know if there's a collection, to be honest. I've never seen, obviously you've got the omnibus ones of Conan, but I can't think of a Kazar one. Someone please put in the comments below whether there has been one. I don't think so. Never seen reprints, but still, you've got some great little stories there. Of course, it's great the magazines still exist. It's possible they do exist. Maybe in some of these sort of complete collections or something like that. Or Marvel Masterworks, I don't know. Because, of course, Kazar has been done that, but I thought they were all the colour ones. I think some of them been in the Mockingbird one. There's a Mockingbird book which included some of these, but I don't know if many of these other ones have been included. This is issue 8. the War and Sheena, of course. Shana. Sheena. No, it's Shana. She-Devil. Again, that's another collection I'm surprised I've never brought out. The Billion Year War. Again, always very, very good little stories. Always enjoyed Kazar. One of my favourites. Kazar, whatever it is. But there's the Mockingbird. I've got that probably in the Mockingbird collection, I'm certain. Got that. And then you've got another story here. And they always had lots of stories. Obviously, the story at the back. This one. Oh, Brack the Barbarian. Not Brack Mac-Maud or whatever, but Brack the Barbarian there. Conclusion. And this is the, John Jakes one. Adapted by Douglas Munch. And Origins of Marvel Comics, of course. I love that book. And you've got that one. And you've also got a lovely The Pulps. Kazar. Now, you can get collections of those ones. There weren't many of them. There weren't many of these. And also included a reprint as well, which was a very unusual one. Jan of the Jungle at the back. Now, it didn't actually say the artist, which is weird, isn't it? When they didn't actually include the name there at all. Maybe it included it on... No information at all. However, let's just go through the next one. And it's an unknown world of science fiction. Day of the Triffids. That one there, an idea of whose time has come. Unfortunately, it didn't last very long. 6 issues and that was it. 84 big pages. And they were great. I love that one. Danny Dinosaur says, subscribe to Savage Tales or I'll eat this doll. Very weird advert that one was. And of course you've got the letters pages at the back. Always good as well. So you've got loads of these. Again, Shana the She-Devil. She turned up quite a few in these ones. And again, Brack the Barbarian. Shana there. Again, I don't know if these have been collected properly in a real great collection. It would be brilliant to see a proper collection of all these works, but it's still, maybe they've been fun. Now, this one was quite a good one. Super annual issue. I think this was it was a one-off. Fantastic collector edition. And it included some interesting stories because it included the ones that came from the original, you got here, Day of the Tigers. This one revealed at last origin of Kazar and Zabu, Gil Kane, of course. Now, I think these ones were, they were Astonishing Tales, but I'm certain these stories were the Astonishing Tales ones. Might be completely wrong on that one. Dragon Seed, apparently, also included. Another one. Oh, yes, this is the Astonishing Tales one. Back to the Savage Land. I knew there was one, but she's got that one. Back to the Savage Land. They've sort of redone that. I'm certain that the artwork didn't look like that in the original comic book. Barry Windsor Smith. We've got that story, and then you've got obviously some more pages of that story all the way through. And another story. There's a lot of stories. These ones are obviously a substantial. The one that sort of looks like a Logan's Run kind of thing. Dark Tomorrow. All the time in the world they last, and scientists predict the ecological, etc. Trial on only one may survive. Take your place, men. Strike. So there's that story, and that is that for that one. So that was a one-off annual sort of, quite a decent size actually, quite a reasonable one. I think it was also slightly more expensive, $1.25, whereas the others were, let's see, 25 pence or 20 pence in the UK, 75 cents. So I guess that one probably would have been about 40p or something, 40, 50p, if it was even available. Might have been, I don't know. And another one, Kazar, Savage Tales again. Now, it didn't last very long. I think it was up to issue 12, and that was it. But you've still got some great little stories there. And another story, obviously this one there. And the back, probably some other story as well. Oh, no, you've got Shana there. Now, that was a separate story. Was that looks like a separate. Yes, that's a separate story there. So you've got Shana the She-Devil story there. On the back. Now, I think they were in one of the Marvel Masterworks. I think they had some of the collection of the Shana ones. But that's, again, another collection that would be nice to see if they included that as well, and again, in an omnibus edition. Now, this one is Savage Tales featuring Conan. And this was issue 4. Of course, Neil Adams on the front. And you've got, of course, classic tale here. Let's just go Night of the Dark God. And also you've got Crusader, of course, one of the old ones, Night of the Dark God there. And Gil Kane again. Gil Kane. Of course, you've got lovely articles in there. Always enjoyed the articles. And also you've got this lovely Joe Manili bit of artwork here, which is great. So you've got the Crusader. Good old Crusader there. No, I'm certainly Joe Manili. Yes, it is. You can just see Joe Manili there. Many times, of course, a lot of these Atlas ones, they never ever had the artist name. You just had to guess, of course. Oh, that's Gil Kane or whoever. Don Heck, etc. And you've got the Hour of the Gnome. Not the Hour of the Dragon, but Hour of the Gnome. And you've got talking about Sands of Mars and Space Odyssey. And they're coming to Conan, of course, the old books. Gnome Press. And Dweller in the Dark. Just a classic one that was originally, of course, in the colour. Now, I don't know which one came first, but still included in here. Still absolutely brilliant artwork. And another one. I've got, let's say, quite a few of these. So I'm just quickly going through. This is, I think this is the last. There might be a few others. Savage Tales one. Again, another 2 thing. All great adventures, etc. And you can see the list there. Oh, we've got Thongor. Oh, Lynn Carter one. Thongor and Jandar series. Let's just see, of course, again. Oh, no, it's an article about Jandar of Callisto. Love that title. Jandar of Callisto. Sky Pirates of Callisto. Just great. Oh, that just looks really spectacular cover, doesn't it? That one. So that's creating a fantasy hero. And of course, you've got a Kazar story there. So that's that. But also these ones, I think most of these are, and I'm just going to quickly go through them. Oh, no, this is another US one. This is issue 3 of Conan. Savage Sword of Conan. Sort of similar to Savage Tales, but Savage Tales, he went off to Savage Sword of Conan. So you've got the Conan story here. And I think there's also at the back some other stories. Oh, Kull of Atlantis. This is always just a weird one, this one. Just looks strange. One of the oddest Kull stories of all, I think, that one. You've got sort of like panels like that, which is very weirdly done. And also you've got a brilliant bit of Gil Kane there, which of course is the testing of Black Hawk. The story so far. Obviously probably from issue 2 maybe. Of course, Black Hawk, there was a book that came out, Black Hawk 1. Really, I like the way it's done. Now, it never really obviously got the recognition that it should have done, but I think it was absolutely brilliant and could have done so much better. But sad, I don't know what the history was in terms of why things didn't become that great book that really should have come out. Still, let's just go. I think I've got oh, there's another one. I turned around and say about super annual issues. There's another one. The Savage Sword of Conan, #1. And this has got, another, of course, one from, looks like, yes, that must have been Beware the Wrath of Anu, one of the comic books, the colour ones. But again, slightly done differently the way it's been done. I'm not certain how it's changed, how it's scanned in. But still, great little story. And you've also got a Kull as well, which is really good. The Forbidden Swamp. Great little stories all the way through. And another one at the back. Let's just see. Got another Kull one there. It's got Falsa Doom. And lots and lots of adverts. And the Web of the Spider God. So you've got a lot of reprints in this. But still, I love the word super annual issue. But more thrills. Unfortunately, stuff that was probably originally already got. But still, lovely to see the artwork in black and white like that. Always good. And that was that for that one. Now, I'm not going to show all these. These are all the UK ones. These are Savage Sword of Conan. Slightly confusing because, of course, it's got the same title as the US one. But still, you can always tell, obviously, because of the price, that it was a UK one. Marvel Monthly, as it says, 40 pence. The reason I bought them, they were all 49 pence. Obviously, 40 pence before. Unfortunately, I didn't buy them at the time, or I bought odd issues. But still, 49 pence from my local Oxfam. And the reason I like them, one, they've got some great stories in. They've got Conan, Hour of the Dragon, but also they've got, well, in some of them they've got actually Solomon Kane, but they've also got Red Sonja. And the reason I like it is because of the Red Sonja ones. Because unless you get the gallery editions or whatever they're called, artist editions, I would love to see those of the Red Sonja ones, the Frank Thorne work. I've been reading them on the Kindle Unlimited. They've got all those ones, I think 3 volumes. All on Kindle Unlimited, and probably the main reason why I got Kindle Unlimited was because of that, because I just love the black and white artwork. And this actually I think is pretty good. You actually see there you've got very, very sharp line work all the way through for this story, and probably much nicer than the original colour ones. So it's just glorious to see, like that, just great. And a couple of these issues have got Red Sonja, not all of them, but somehow. But actually, the reason I bought it at the time, I remember, was that because I had the Solomon Kane. Because the Solomon Kane ones came out in omnibus edition, sort of defunking the reason that I needed these. But still, You got these stories here, but you get still the Red Sonja ones I think are just great. But the Solomon Kanes also are still pretty good as well. So it's nice to have Solomon Kane ones. And of course you've got the Conan as well. Conan's ladies, as it says there. Let's see what. You've got Red Sonja. You've also got Salome, and you've got the Frost Giant's daughter. I'm not certain you classify as, but still, in the teeth of the gods. That's a bit of a title, isn't it? The teeth of the gods. So, okay, Roy Thomas, Dick Giordano. There. And you've got other ones here. So this one always got an interview with Boris Vallejo. There, Conan Tale Samira. And also you've got Britain's #1. I love that. Britain's #1 Sword and Sorcery Action Magazine. I suspect it was the only one. That was probably the reason why it was #1. Quite easy to be #1. But still got some great artwork there. There might be others, of course. Let's say there. But of course you've got some great artwork there as well. And again, this one has got a very unusual one story. This is King Kull's story. Ooh, that's very unusual one to include. But still, no Red Sonja in this one. Probably that was an earlier issue. Was that early issue? 27. So this one is number 37, and that one has got Red Sonja. Again, it's still saying, starting a new direction for Britain's #1 Sword and Sorcery magazine. I guess that was because they included the Red Sonja ones. Haunter of the Pits. Got there, Conan, obviously. And let's just go for looking for that. Oh, there's the Red Sonja one there. Talons. So that's obviously not Frank Thorne, that one, though. Maybe this one's a Frank Thorne. And Death Demon Back. Yes, of course it is. So another one, Balak Lives. Again, just really, really great artwork. And I love the fact that they've included them like this. And I would love to see these issues coming out in this format. Black and white, proper, like, obviously all colour. Doesn't matter, but I'd really quite like to see them. Of course, they never brought out an Essentials Red Sonja, which would have been great. And you've got another one here, Savage Sword Conan again. Oh, this is a 40-page, probably doesn't include Red Sonja in this one. That's a Savage Sword Conan. I did, like I say, bought quite a few, all 49p. There was a pile of about 100 of them, and I was just flicking through them. Unfortunately, I was travelling out town, and I thought, and I went back the next day in the hope to pick them all up. The other ones, I thought, oh, I'll go back and get them because they were all gone. But at least I picked up about 10 of them at 49p. So it was nice to get the Hour of the Dragon again and Red Sonja in Mortal Kombat, it says there, with Conan again. There's another one here. Now, unfortunately, this one's fallen to pieces, and for that reason, 20p. Get slightly reduction. I suppose I could use a bit of sellotape just to keep that together. But again, great artwork. Really, really sharp line all the way through this. And this one here, very unusual looking. I have no idea what that one is. Conan story there. Oh, it's just Conan. 3 Deaths of Conan. I think this must have been quite later. Yes, 176. And was this American one, wasn't it? Yeah, $2.25. Yeah, the American one. This one was slightly, I don't know if that was near enough 176. Oh, it went on a bit longer than that, I think. I don't know. But still, great little issue. And I never noticed actually before. I always assumed it was the UK one, but it wasn't, obviously. 95p UK price. Well, I hope you found this of interest. I was going to go through the Creepies, Eries and other Warren magazines in this one, but I didn't. I just ran out of time. I thought, really, after about 30 minutes, I thought that's about it for running through these. But I've still also got, after the Creepy and Warren one, which will be in part 3, I'm going to be doing ones of UK comics. That's going to be another part. And that might be split as well, because that I might ramble on about various books and things in that as well. But I will go through also these sort of things as well. I've got a small selection of these. So I hope you found this of interest. Any ones that you've bought over the years? Savage Tales, did you love any of the black and white ones? I love those black and white magazines. But I know they're not everyone's favourites. They're sort of ones that... but they obviously didn't sell that many because they, of course, didn't really last. They were like Unknown Worlds of Science Fiction, only 6 issues. Many of the others were like 12 issues, and that was it. The only one that really lasted was Savage Sword of Conan. I didn't even buy that many issues of that. I'm really pleased now they brought them out in omnibus, so it's nice to be able to read them in really good format. Anyway, if you've got any other questions about things, please let me know in the comments below. It was great to hear from you.